A funny question. Are you ever stuck for a word?
No, I'm not. But then no actor would be, because you're brought up on some marvellous vocabularies, aren't you? I mean, whether it's Shakespeare you're performing in, and I was doing all that sort of thing in rep, Shakespeare, Ibsen, Chekhov, Bridie. I mean, those sort of people are using a language which is elegant and enormously infectious. It actually does infect you. I think learning itself is like that. You become infected by it, and if you've got a very good master in the particular subject of school, you're enjoying yourself, then you become better and better at it.
Language is your passion, isn't it?
Oh, I love it. Oh, yes, an actor uses words like a rifleman uses bullets. And if he's got some to fire, then he's an effective, worker, but rifleman or whatever it is he can do. But if you go on as an actor and you've got no words, no good words to speak, then you are at a loss.
But you have a particular way, anyway. Where do you get this extraordinary vocal range from? What is the secret?
Oh, I think you hear things from other people, you know, and use their vocal attributes. I remember Stanley Baxter saying, you take a salient point in somebody's reproduction method, like Churchill always does the third stress, you know, the biblical thing. We shall fight on the beaches, on the landing ground, man in the air. We should never surrender. So it's bumpty, bumpty, bump, bump. Which is very biblical, isn't it? The three and then the last stress. And I remember an old man selling newspapers when Churchill was dying, and the headlines were Churchill sinking. And this old man said, "Says he's sinking? I mean, he's been sinking for days, hasn't he? I mean, when's he going to actually go under? I want to know. And the waves going, you know, that sort of, you know, the way." He was producing his voice interested me, and I started doing it myself.
What about physical attributes? I mean, your splendid nostrils, do they help you with this?
Oh, the nostrils are only like that because I played football in the army. I didn't want to play. I hate exercise. I loathe it. I've avoided it ever since. And I was kicked on the football field, and this boot met my nose, and it was chucked right out of joint. And in fact, a surgeon said to me afterwards, you know, if it had been pressed back when the bone was malleable, you'd have got it back into a proper shape. But it wasn't, and consequently, I've got myself, one of my passages is restricted. Because I don't know which one it is, but one, I mean, it's very bad.
It's not the one this side, I can tell you. Well, you spoke of the army. Was it a shock to a gentle person like yourself?
You're not kidding. I don't. Yes. I mean, even evacuation. You know, when you were evacuated and shoved off to the country and foster parents and all the rest of it, you had a room to yourself. But in the army, I was in a barrack room in Carlisle Castle. They were all Geordies. I didn't understand half they were saying. And I had to undress in front of all these people, and I pulled the pyjama, kept the shirt on and pulled the pyjamas up under and did the knot, you know, so that I eased it all off gradually. And then the third night, I was rumbled, and they said, "In front of Shanish Willie." And then in a sort of bravado, stung into bravado, I did expose myself. What Dr. Johnson called the genitalia, I believe. And that finished all the curiosity.
Instant admiration, I suppose. But what about, you say you don't like exercise. You had to go presumably through assault courses.
I know, I was so bad, you know. They sent me to a PDC. I don't suppose you know anything about that.
PDCs?
They were physical development centres. The army had them for those recruits. But the sergeant said, "You scrawny runts, you scrawny runts. Look like something out of the workhouse. You're sent here, and we make you into men with bulging muscles." It was quite ludicrous. And you were shoved on these courses where you had to do all these physical things. I had to get on a rope and go across a river and then jump up a fence and go over the other side. It was like all that sort of thing they do on the television. You know, those... Krypton Flatley, yes, Flatley. And I just sank in a heap with this rifle on my back. And I just sank there. I thought, I'm not going to do it at all. And this sergeant came by on a cycle. They didn't do any work. They were cycling. And he said, "What are you doing the dying swan for?" And No, I can't go on. I've finished. And he said, rubbish, if you don't do this course, you're here for another 16 weeks and another one until you eventually... I said, oh, I couldn't face it. I mean, I can't do it. And he said, all right, get on my crossbar. He cycled like mad and went round back ways and then got to a point, said, jump over that hedge and say you've done it. So I did. And there was an officer with one of those boards, a clipboard and a watch, timing everybody, who said, splendid, well done. Very well done, Private. Private, you were called. Private, anything but private. And so I was passed and then shoved before an MO, because I'd been graded B2. There's A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, and I was B2. And I was chucked in front of these doctors, stripped off, you know, with one saying, pull the stomach round to the front. Oh, hung, you know. It did rather hang dejectedly, the stomach. My stomach always has hung dejectedly. And they said, yes, we're all fine, you passed the course, A1. And immediately upgraded me and sent me back. And I thought, well, I'll go into the infantry. And I was frightened to death of that. Because, I mean, the war was on. And I thought I'd learned a little schoolboy German. You know. Du bist mein Freund and all this stuff. Ich weiß nicht, was soll es bedeuten, dass ich so traurig bin. I got it all worked out. And then they shoved me on this boat. We went on and on. I thought, got into the Suez Canal. And I thought, this is nowhere near. Friends I'm supposed to be making friends with. And eventually I landed up in Burma and then Singapore with the REs. I was in the engineers as a draftsman drawing maps for bombing, stuff like that, targets for the RAF.